So as you just saw, we are a soccer town, college and professional now, always have been, always will be. The 10 national titles by the SLU men are still tops in the country, and the MLS coming to St. Louis validates our passion. Soccer is tonight's Cardinal Buick Sunday conversation with the most knowledgeable soccer figure our town has ever known. And it's a pleasure to welcome Mr. Soccer, Bill McDermott. Lots to discuss. Right off the bat, why do you think this thing is taking off with St. Louis City? Because I think if you ask the average St. Louisan, they could not name 10 MLS players, and yet the city is ecstatic about this.
It's ecstatic about it, Frank, because it is literally the venue itself, the stadium, as well as the training facilities on the other side of Market Street. It's all centralized in one downtown location. It has become and will become a focal point for the sport of soccer here in St. Louis. And what other city in the United States should have soccer as a focal point for their overall sports panorama other than St. Louis?
And you've been to a bunch of MLS venues. Explain the fact that it's just more than a game, it's an event with everything going on.
It is indeed an event, in particular because there's foreign players, international players, mixed with North American and hopefully some American players who are St. Louisans, all of which adds up to the fact entertainment. Hopefully a winning team. Expansion teams don't normally win. The Chicago Fire won in 1998 because of two players, Peter Novak and Lubos Kubik. But nonetheless, this St. Louis team has caught everyone's fancy because it's what soccer has done for the overall development of the city and vice versa.
Right now, City 2, actually in its first year, are going to make the playoffs?
They're in the playoffs. They're in the final. They were in the final 8. They won their first game in the semifinal. And this is an example of a team that has started on January 31st until the present time. And because of a constant same environment and culture, they're looking extremely strong for a group of players who have literally just come together. I mentioned the international players. Some of them have literally just joined the team month and a half ago, and they've blended well with the existing players.
SLU Women's Soccer, top 10 in the country. How close are they to winning a national championship?
There still might be a ways away for that, because when you saw their game against Notre Dame, you saw there was still some big gaps between the talent that Notre Dame has and what St. Louis U has. However, they played them very early in the year. I'd like to see them play them now. They'd give Notre Dame a much better game. But they're still well on their way to being better than they ever have been. To be ranked 8th in the country against some of these mega powers is really a substantial asset to the program.
Final thought, what does this soccer hysteria mean to a guy like you who played on 2 national championship teams at SLU, broadcasted on the national level? What does it mean to have this back in your hometown?
It means everything for, like you just said, the proverbial soccer fan who has watched this grow. From the late 60s in the North American Soccer League, when I used to say, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen," when in actuality, there was hardly that many people in the stands. But now it has become, as I just mentioned a moment ago, a real focal point, not just for sports here in St. Louis, but literally for around the country.
Every game will be sold out.
Without any question whatsoever. 22,500 and the stadium right in a central downtown location, along with everything else, training facilities, locker rooms, meeting rooms, offices, unprecedented in the history of Major League Soccer.
Bill, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks, Frank.
That is Mr. Soccer, Bill McDermott.